We all like to look stylish while we're dancing, but is there such a thing as overstyling? Hello, my beautiful subscribers. Rasa the dancer is here. Now, I made some videos about this topic before, but I have more people coming up to me and asking me to talk a little bit more about this. So I'm assuming it's kind of a thing. So is there such a thing as overstyling? That is today's topic, and I cannot wait to get into it with you. Before I get into the juicy parts of this topic, I'd like to mention something that I think we all should keep in our minds. There is such a thing as a learning curve. And there comes a point to everybody, especially the followers, but everybody else as well, leaders too, when you get to a point where you're dancing for a while and you really want to improve the way you look. So you go to styling classes where you learn how to spin, to move your body, to use your arms. And so the only way to practice what you have learned is actually on the dance floor when you're dancing with somebody else. How to implicate all of the things, stylish things that you learn and use them in the partner work. It's only when you're actually practicing in the partner work. So we have to keep that slightly in the back of our minds and understand that not all the time somebody's just being a selfish dancer. Sometimes that dancer is in that learning curve where they're trying out things and not always succeeding. And it takes time to find the groove of where things work and they don't, and where it interferes with the lead and follow. So I've been through that. I'm sure there was times when I was practicing things that are stylish and it was just going really wrong, and my partner was probably thinking, my God, can you just follow? But the only way we can improve is to implement these things and fail and learn from them and get better at understanding where certain things are better than other places. So that was my first point. I thought before I make a video, I have to mention this because it's very easy for us to forget that it is a learning curve. And as we also learn how to find connections in the partner work, how to remember the moves, how to find connection between each other, is also learning how to style. So be a little bit more compassionate when you're thinking about the overstyling thing. And then, of course, now I'm going to get into the other side of it as well. Now, since we mentioned that, of course, it's very important for us to learn as well how to be more creative, and styling is part of that creativity and how to express ourselves better and get to that advanced level where we are more free and can create more beautiful pictures. Even though that's the case, a lot of the time, followers are especially guilty of it. We forget that it is a partner dance. It's not about you. It's about what we both create in a partner dance. So if your priority is how you look in this dance, that is the first mistake in the approach of styling. Styling is supposed to be a decoration. It's supposed to be something extra. It is not supposed to be the main focus. So if you are obsessively styling and that's all that's happening in your mind, then you already losing, because the priority is the connection between two people and that the two people are creating something special together. And so when you just focus overly about styling, it's very exhausting for your partner. So as I say, mostly followers are guilty of it because we are the decorators most of the time. But these days, there's a lot of the time when, and I've experienced that when leaders as well, they just go so crazy with all of the styling that they have learned that it almost feels like, why are you, why do you need me? Clearly, you are the flower of the dance. So I don't know, am I supposed to be the frame and the stick? So, you gotta just think about the mindset. I think if your mindset when you're coming in is to create a nice experience and connect and create a picture together, I think you're going to be fine overall in your journey. But if your mindset is how stylish and cool and sexy or whatever I should look, I think that approach might very easily set you up for failure. Now let's talk about leaders overstyling, which also happens. As I mentioned before, for me personally, as a follower, when I'm dancing with the lead who just going crazy with his styling, as I said before, it just makes me feel like you are the flower, so why am I there? You might as well just be dancing on your own. The other side of it as well, you might not realize, but unless you are a superb lead, when you styling, it takes away from your lead. So you end up being a little bit messy. So unless you perfect the styling with your lead, you're actually confusing your partner a lot of the times. You're missing the connections. You're extending the hand. If you're not connecting with this one because you're focusing on this one, she's missing the lead. If you are turning and then you're stumbling to pick up the hand and then you're dragging her, it's not a nice lead. So from that side, without even personal preference, that for me, I like to style more than you would as a follower, from taking the personal thing away, it actually takes away from the lead. So if you decide to style, which is, very, very beautiful thing, but if you decide to style, I would just recommend to really focus while you're practicing your styling to maintain your lead, to keep on focusing whether you're actually leading nicely, because as we said to the followers, the priority is to follow. For you, the priority is to lead. So if you decide to do all those crazy things that leaders do when they style, make sure you keep up the lead. So thank you for watching. Remember, styling is a wonderful thing. Yes, I based all my online workshops based on styling, how to do it well. But the most important thing is to learn how to implicate it, go through that learning curve, and making sure that in the end of the day, you focus on lead and follow, and then you learn how to style and you integrate into the lead and follow. You base it on the connections between each other and you do it when it's appropriate. And remember, less is more. Not everything is about what is like big scale. Sometimes it's little things, the way you even just hold your posture, that would actually be more stylish than you doing some crazy combinations. So keep that in mind, and of course, keep on styling. And if you want to learn how to do it properly, go to my website, dancewithrasa.com. There's a lot of videos there, a lot of information, a lot of classes that you can take. And now I'm gonna leave you actually with some styling videos, nice and simple things that you can start working on, and I will see you very soon. Don't forget to subscribe. Mwah!